If this doesn't work, we're never using technology ever again.
It's just gonna be. We're just gonna be Amish.
Which means no more go home show.
No more go home show.
Keep it rolling.
Speaking of the Go Home Show, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Go Home Show. He's Richard McKinney. I am Chris Adair. Richard, tell the folks at home what the Go Home Show is all about.
The Go Home Show is a show by the fans, for the fans, about anything at all in the world of professional wrestling, whether it be Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, TNA, Ring of Honor, or any other random wrestling show, organization thing that we might happen to just stumble across.
It's a discussion. It's commentary. And it's an opinionated show full of facts, rumors, and what have you, all in the world of professional wrestling. We're talking Raw.
We are. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about the final show, or at least Raw show, before the Elimination Chamber. So it's the Go Home Show.
But not this Go Home Show.
Not this one.
The way the show started, it was sort of a go-to maneuver when it comes to show openers, when it comes to multiple main events. One guy comes out and says, I'm going to be the WWE champion. And then the other guy comes out, he says, I'm going to be the WWE champion. And then, each guy comes out, says his 2 cents.
Watching that all unfold, I think you and I were both on the same page thinking tag team. Mm-hmm. We were expecting some kind of 6-man or something.
Yeah. Well, I said that while we were watching the show, but then I realized, well, there isn't a third heel.
Yeah.
Which then Christian decided to do somewhat of a possible one-night heel turn. I don't know where that's going.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't even know I don't even know if it is going to go anywhere. But
yeah. So Kane comes out and says, as the director of operations, I'm going to make matches.
The authority has given me the opportunity to rectify some mistakes I have made in recent weeks. Mm-hmm. And so he put Daniel Bryan in a match with Christian. Mm-hmm. Christian doing his heel thing, which was actually, Christian's a good heel, so it was a good match.
Yeah.
But then Daniel Bryan come out victorious, and Kane was at ringside for that match with Daniel Bryan and Christian. He's at ringside, and Daniel Bryan won his match, and Kane says, oh yeah, I forgot. You've got 2 matches tonight, and that other one starts now, and it's against me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really a match. It was more Kane got in the ring and just destroyed Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan in his match with Christian seemed to have injured his shoulder, and Kane kind of made it a point through his little beat down to just kind of focus on that shoulder, and very intentionally got himself disqualified.
Other matches that were made in that segment was Cesaro versus John Cena, which was by far the
match of the night.
Highlight of the night.
Match of the night.
Yeah. They stole the show.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Cesaro lifting John Cena from the apron up from the turnbuckle and hitting a superplex. Cesaro reversing the attitude adjustment.
Like flipping over John Cena landing on his feet. Like on John Cena's left side.
Yeah.
So, just all of...
Yeah. It was good stuff.
Yes.
And, of course, there was the Cesaro European uppercut where Cena gets...
that thing was brutal.
Cena gets major air and then he just gets robbed.
That thing was nasty.
Yeah.
That made me hurt watching it.
Vintage Cesaro, as they would say.
Absolutely. It was fantastic. Yeah. There was not a minute of that match that I just did not enjoy. Mark Henry versus Roman Reigns.
That was good stuff.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I cannot be more thrilled for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he took Mark Henry to school pretty much.
I'd say that's an accurate statement.
And he's the student.
And that's...
Took the teacher.
Just that whole thing, that was beautiful. On Roman Reigns' part, man.
He's getting the push.
And I love it.
He's getting shot to the moon.
Ooh, ah. The follow-up to the match was also kind of interesting. we had, after Roman Reigns ends up victorious, obviously Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins enter the ring. And Seth Rollins was pumped.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins was just all sorts of excited, which is great.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose, a little upset, a little angry about
hissy fit.
Yeah, and decided to take out his frustration on the already battered and beaten Mark Henry. And Roman Reigns, he's just watching Dean Ambrose get all sorts of upset. He just looking at him, he's like, dude, what are you doing?
And 5 seconds before he was going, ooh, wah.
Yeah.
Which, that scene sort of made me think that there's been the rumors and the rumblings in IWC say that, Roman Reigns is going to break away from the Shield and become a face, and Seth and Dean are going to stay in the Shield, and then they're going to bring someone else in to the Shield and have like a new big guy. I think that Dean is going to leave the Shield, and you're going to have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns with a new third guy.
Yeah.
Because Seth Rollins is he's sort of the voice of reason between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. He seems to usually side with Roman Reigns on the issues that the Shield
let's
have.
think about, would you want to not side with Roman Reigns?
Well, aside from that, okay, I think Seth Rollins could handle himself if he decided.
I want to get ooh-ah'd to death, okay?
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, when it comes to the arguments, he seems to side on the Roman Reigns end. It's like, Dean, what are you doing?
Well, let's look at the history. Dean Ambrose was the first one to get any kind of solitary recognition, the U.S. title, and then Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns had to kind of be in the background for a bit.
Yeah,
and
I think that was for good reason, because I think WWE knew that, but Dean Ambrose would probably be the guy that kind of faded into the background, so they put him in the forefront. That way he didn't fade.
Yeah.
That way he had that recognition, because they knew that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were probably going to get that reaction anyway. But now it's different.
Like, Roman Reigns has, like, the whole package. Yeah. Like, he did it first, and it's really great. It's really great, and I think this is, really all that needs to be said. He's developed. Yeah. He's hit the places he needs to hit in order to kind of move on to the next phase, and I think in the coming months we're going to see some major changes in the Shield. Yeah,
and I think going back to what I was saying before, where Dean Ambrose kind of goes his own way, I think Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will be face, and then they'll throw in a third man who I think should be Justin Gabriel.
I can back that,
because first of all, he's got history with big factions.
It would be intelligent to make that happen.
He would kind of mix in with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns when it comes to like the look. Like they both have the scruffy beard and the long hair, and Dean Ambrose is like pale white dude, short hair kind of thing.
Yeah.
Throw in Justin Gabriel, and now you've got three dudes who kind of have the same look about them, but they all have their own thing. Unless they wanted to pull from NXT.
Exactly.
Like Corey Graves or Sami Zayn, which would be kind of cool. Ole!
Ole!
Ole! Ole! Ole! Ole! Ole! Oh wait, no, that's El Generico. Different guy. Anyway. But yes.
All right. So good things happening on the Shield front. Swagger and Kofi.
Yeah. So Jack Swagger is the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship against Big E at the Elimination Chamber.
This is the point where I just kick my feet up and let you take this.
Richard is not a Jack Swagger guy. I am a Jack Swagger fan. It's hard to decipher what will happen at Elimination Chamber when it comes to the Intercontinental title, just because both men won their matches on Raw. So, and usually when you look at the go-home show of a pay-per-view, you look at, okay, who goes over on who. So, it's hard to tell.
Next on the list, Jey Uso, one-on-one with the S-Man.
He's my S-Man. Bow, bow.
Billy Gunn, one-on-one with Jey Uso.
It was good.
Like, I enjoyed the people in the match, and I enjoyed commentary.
Yeah. Jimmy sort of addressed the ongoing, oh, you didn't know. Well, what's the answer?
What am I supposed to know?
What am I not knowing? I don't understand.
So that was good.
Yeah. It was a little good back and forth.
Yeah.
You know,
I saw my dad beat you when I was a kid.
Yeah,
That was like my.
yeah. There was a good little exchange on commentary
good
between
back and forth.
Jimmy Uso and the Road Dogg, and a great match in the ring. You know, and it ended off. Who won that match?
Uso.
That's right. With I think it was like a roll up.
Yeah, it was a roll up. There were some little shenanigans happening outside the ring for a second.
Yeah.
Which kind of, sort of, I guess, provided a distraction.
Yeah.
And Jay got the roll up.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I mean, when we first started this show, we were like, we want to see the Usos. We want to see the Usos. Like, and we kind of predicted this somewhat.
Yeah.
Like we said, you know, once the Brotherhood loses their titles to a heel team, which the Outlaws are sort of a heel team, the Usos are probably going to be next in line, and lo and behold, here we are, Elimination Chamber. The Usos taking on the Outlaws for those tag titles at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Unfortunately, the Usos are probably going to lose that match.
I think that one's given to the Outlaws.
Because I think they're probably going to set up at WrestleMania for a Brotherhood versus the Outlaws for the tag titles.
You think they'll do that again?
I think so. Because why else would the Outlaws have the titles? Other than to advance, like, authority versus these people.
That would be why to me. I think the Usos are in line for a title run here in the very near future.
I agree, but I think it'll be after WrestleMania.
Yes, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is gear up for Outlaws and the Brotherhood at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can see the Outlaws probably taking it after WrestleMania.
Possibly.
And then the Usos coming after. We had Big E Langston.
That's right. In a handicap match.
Versus Drew McIntyre and Jinder
Jinder
Mahal.
Yeah.
There we go.
The Job Squad 2.0.
I couldn't really care less about that match. It was good in the sense that I got to see Big E.
Well,
I'm a Big E guy.
I liked it because it was a little different. Because in the middle of the match, Zeb Coulter is like,
he's on the
mic.
And
he's on the mic yelling during the match, which was a little different. We don't see that very often.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was a great way to build up the match at Elimination Chamber, Big E versus Jack Swagger.
And where I'm at, I think it was good, simply for the Zeb factor. I was glad that Big E took that match. It's like you said, that kind of leaves some interesting questions for the Elimination Chamber, because that takes, with him having one and Swagger having one, you know, they both won their matches. That kind of takes away from the so and so has leverage going into Elimination Chamber. That means he's done.
Right. The only, like, if Jack Swagger had attacked Big E at the end of his match, then I would say, okay, Big E's taking it at Elimination Chamber. But both men came out on top on Raw. So it's, what's good about that is that there's no way to say, I know 100% that Big E's going to win that match, or I know 100% that Jack Swagger's going to win that match. It could go either way, which is how it should be.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's kind of happening there in the IC world. Mm-hmm. Last match of the night,
Randy Orton versus the Shameful Thing.
That happened.
Sheamus.
There was a match in there somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like that was a mistake, just because we've seen this match.
Not much excitement there.
We've seen this match multiple times, and every time it gets random chanted.
Yeah. You'd think that it gets to a point with Randy Orton, man. Like, I think, like, I don't want to discredit him. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I am just completely anti Randy Orton, because I'm not. Like, I know that he has potential to do big things.
Yeah.
But he's like John Cena in the sense that he needs to be in the ring with the right person. and he needs
And
to
with
be
different people.
Yeah, in emphasis on different.
Right.
Because he's good. He's got the talent. He's got the ability, as does John Cena. But when you put him in the Randy Orton in the ring with John Cena, we've seen it 1.5 billion times.
Yeah.
You put Randy Orton in the ring with Sheamus, it's been 100 billion times over the last 2.5, 3 years, and it's way too fresh. At least recently with John Cena and Randy Orton, it had been a little while.
Yeah.
But with Randy Orton and Sheamus, it's as fresh as can be.
Well, dude, like, before Sheamus got injured, that was the
That was
Randy Orton
yeah.
versus Sheamus. Or
Yeah.
Sheamus thrown in a Shield match. And
like,
then you put this in the main event of Raw on the Go Home show?
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't do anything for me.
But see, what they did right is that it wasn't a straight match. Like, Randy Orton was a little, like, he was talking about bringing out the vicious Viper or whatever. Like, he's said that a million times.
It
but
still
whatever.
hasn't happened.
Yeah, like...
Still waiting, Randy.
He said that, but then he started, like, taking...
Maybe what
Sheamus
I'll
out.
do, I'm going to fly to St. Louis.
Okay.
I'm going to walk myself down to Florissant, which is where his family lives.
This is a good thing.
I'm going to knock on his parents' door, and I'm going to look at Cowboy Bob Orton. I'm going to be like, hey, you should tell your son to quit being stupid.
Quit wearing that cast.
Like, want me to tell you something? He's not entertaining because he's not living up to what he says.
And your arm's not broken.
You should fix this.
And-
all of this.
And
Fix it.
Take off the cast. Because
If
his
I,
arm's
you
not
know what?
broken
I will walk when I walk up to their door. That'll be I'll be like, hey, lose the cast. We have to talk. But let's just wrap this up really quick.
Raw.
As a whole, Raw
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
We got to see our go home show brawl at the
Yeah.
end of Raw, which was great. That was awesome. I don't even remember how it happened now.
The Shield came out and attacked Sheamus, and I was like, why is the Shield attacking Sheamus? And then out comes John Cena, and out comes Daniel Bryan, and then out come the Wyatts, and out
then it
comes
was
everybody.
Just,
and
it was just a massive cluster F of awesome.
Dude, we didn't even talk about the Shield and the Wyatts getting in each other's faces in that segment, which was
I just got goosebumps.
all sorts of fun. Yeah, dude, like, that was good stuff right there. And when they finally, like, at the end of the show, they finally locked horns and started going at it, and it was like this huge brawl. So
it was good news.
That tells me that we don't know what's gonna happen,
which is
at Elimination
It's
Chamber.
about time.
What would you give Raw overall?
I know you're going to disagree with this. I'm giving it a 4.
I can't give it a 4 because I didn't think it didn't blow my mind. Raw didn't explode and be like, wow, that was great. Like, there was some good moments. You had Cesaro and Cena. You had the Wyatts and the Shield and that build up. You had the brawl at the end. You had great matches. You had Roman Reigns and Mark Henry. You know, you had the Big E match with the different little things. So it was a solid show, but I wouldn't give it a 4. Like, it wasn't that good to me. So that's why I'm going to give it a 3.7, because I think 3.5 is too low and 4 is too high, in my opinion. So I'm going right in the middle.
You want to be extra middle-y and go 3.75?
Yes, I will.
All right. Folks, did the Go Home show sell it for you?
I thought that used to be my line before we picked
We're
this
just
back
changing it up.
up. Okay.
Just going with the flow, bro.
All right.
Whatever. And again, I'm out of Dr. Pepper, okay?
Do I get to do your lines?
Sure.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. We don't have the script here. This is all bam off top of the right off the top of our domes.
The dome piece.
The dome piece.
Let us know on Twitter.
They just got some of the Richard sound effects.
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
They're like family.
You are pretty special. Let us know on Twitter at The Ref is Blind. And where can they catch you, good sir?
At Rich Country. RichCountry.
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
Thank you for joining us. And Richard, I think it's time to go home.
It's time to go.
Let's go home, man.